Hello and welcome. Today I am going to do the Keep or Give Up While Writing challenge. So this challenge was originally created by Brooke over at bytheBrooke, and I'm going to link her video down below, and I was tagged by Kate Cavanaugh, and I'm going to link her video down below as well. So because I am quite behind on Camp NaNoWriMo, I am going to turn this, sort of like Kate did, into a writing vlog. And the way I'm going to do it is this. I have written down 8 things that I believe I need, or at least that I want while I'm writing, and I'm going to pit them all against each other until I have 2 winners, and then I am going to pit the losers against each other until I have 2 piles of 3, so that I have 3 different piles, one with the 2 most important things, presumably, and then with the 3 middle important things and the 3 least important things. And then I'm going to do 3 half-hour writing sessions. And the first one, I'm only allowed to have the 2 most important things, and the second one, I'm allowed to add in the next 3, and in the third one, I'm allowed to have all of these things. I was originally going to make it a little bit different. I was going to do an actual list from 1 to 8, and then do 8 half-hour sessions where I get to add in 1 per half hour, but that is 4 hours of writing, and I'm not up for 4 hours of writing today, so 1.5 hours is what I'm going to do instead, and hopefully that'll still mean something, because I want to see when I'm comfortable, when I feel like I maybe don't actually need the rest of the stuff anymore. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyway, and we'll just see what happens. So first of all, the 8 things that are in here. They do not include the essential things for writing, like a computer or something to write on or with, because, well, how am I going to write without those things? What it does include is water, because hydration is important. Also tea, because I love tea and I need tea all the time. There's also snacks. I'm not differentiating between, healthy snacks or unhealthy snacks, because I just want something to nibble on, and it doesn't really matter if it's healthy or not, so snacks is just one thing. It also includes a plushie, a stuffed animal of some sort, because I like having one of our many stuffed animals on my desk for moral support when I write. Maybe that's weird, but that's me. It also includes music to keep myself from getting distracted, and it includes an open window because fresh air is very, very important. And it includes, I had to look that up, I didn't remember the last thing, but the last thing it includes is gloves. It's these kind of gloves. You may have seen them in some of my writing vlogs. I don't use them all the time, but I do need them because for some reason my fingertips are very, very sensitive, so if I sit and write for a long period of time, or sometimes not even for a long period of time, but I just sit and write, my fingertips start to hurt, and so I put on these gloves to protect my fingers. Again, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes I can write for hours and hours and I don't feel anything at all, and sometimes the moment I sit down and write, I start feeling it, and I don't know what's going on, but either way, gloves are very important to me when I write. So I had to look again. That wasn't actually the last thing. I am sorry. The last thing is internet. Not maybe overly important while I'm writing, but it's very important for me if I need to, research something or look something up while I'm writing, because I prefer doing that. If it's something relatively simple, I prefer doing that in the moment while I'm writing instead of just making a note and waiting until I'm done with the writing. So I always have internet accessible while I'm writing. Those are the 8 things that are in this little mug, and let's get started. So the first thing that I am picking up here is internet, which we are going to pit against a plushie. I think I hug the plushies more often than I actually look things up on the internet, so gonna take the plushies for this. And the next thing is water. And I can already tell you, water is probably going to win against whatever this is. It's music, yes. Water definitely wins over music. So, got water and plushie so far. Next thing is my gloves. and an open window. The open window is gonna win this one because, again, fresh air. If I don't get that, I'll just get a headache, and then I can't write anyway. The gloves I don't always need, so yeah. Next would be tea. And tea goes up against snacks. Of course it does. I don't know. I mean, both of these are mostly for, you know, munching on something. Tea maybe isn't so much munching as just, but occupying my mouth with something, and also an excuse to get a few seconds of break while I reach for the tea or the snacks. So they basically serve the same purpose. This is difficult. I didn't think this would be that difficult. I think I'll go with the tea. Folding these back up again and putting them back into the mug. And I'm gonna pit them against each other until I come out with the two winners. We're doing the plushie versus the tea. Is the plushie or the tea most important? I also don't actually want the water and the open window to go against each other, but I guess they're gonna do that. Plushie or tea? See, it's funny, this wasn't supposed to be so difficult because I thought that, well, I don't always have a plushie with me, that's just something to fill out the space. But I find myself like, no, but I want my moral support. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a plushie. That's my way of adulting. I need a plushie when I write. Okay, and now I don't even need to unfold these. I know that this is the open window and the water. I'll go with the water. I think water is more important than the open window. So I'm gonna start my writing session off with a plushie and water and nothing else. And now I'm going to fold up all of the other ones, and I know I could do I could have the open window and the tea be the next thing I add in, and then just add in 4 things in the last half hour. But I want to add in 3 things. I want them to be a little bit more even than that. So hopefully the same things won't be pegged against each other again, because that would be weird. Anyway, I got two notes at once, and I got the tea and the gloves. I might regret this, but I'm gonna say that tea is more important than gloves. We'll see if that's actually true, but that's how I'm gonna try it now. Next we have the open window versus snacks. I mean, I'm tempted to say snacks, but I know that the open window is more important because I know I need that fresh air. So open window. We've got music and internet, right? Internet. I'm gonna go with internet, but I think I would have gone with music if I wasn't the only one home. I don't know, when there's someone else in the room, I like to have music so that I don't, basically so I forget that there's someone else in the room and I can just focus on my writing. It's not that Matilda's distracting, but I probably would have picked music if I wasn't home alone, but as it is, I'm gonna pick the internet. Just for that, I promise you I'm not gonna need to look anything up, but that's what I'm gonna do anyway. And then music goes there. Okay. So the first half hour turned into 35, almost 40 minutes. So I think that's a good indication that maybe a plushie and some water is enough. At least for, half an hour, 40 minutes. Either way, now I am going to start on the second half hour, which means that I'm allowed to turn on my internet again, I can open the window back up and make myself some tea, which is good because I want tea now. All done, got my tea, got my fresh air, which is nice. Time to start half hour number 2. I want snacks. I want something to chew on. It's still about 15 minutes until I'm allowed to add those on, but right now it feels like the snacks would have been way more important than the internet. I haven't used the internet, but I could have used some snacks. The second half hour is done, and I get to add in music, snacks, and gloves. And I want to say right now, I should have picked music and snacks to be more important, because they're the ones I've missed. Even though I'm alone at home, it's actually too quiet to sit for an hour and write without any music, because I get distracted by noise, but I also get distracted by silence. Probably partially because I have tinnitus, so it's not actually the silence, it's probably more the ringing in my ears that distract me. But either way, I've missed music, I have missed snacks, so gonna get those now. I'm going for semi-healthy snacks today. They're chocolate balls. They're high in fiber, so that's good. That's part of the reason why I make them so often, because I don't get enough fiber. This is the best source of fiber I can think of. I don't like whole wheat bread and stuff like that, so yeah. Okay, so that last half hour actually turned out to be longer than half an hour because I was on a roll, so I didn't want to stop. And the conclusions from this experiment is that I don't know myself as well as I think I do. To go through all of the things that I had on my little list and how important I thought they were and how important they actually turned out to be. The thing that surprised me the most was how much I missed music in the first hour or so. Again, I thought music wasn't going to be super important since I was alone, but the silence turned out to be way more distracting than I expected. So if I'm gonna do this again, I'm probably gonna put music higher up, regardless of if I'm home alone or home with someone or writing out and about. That's interesting, because I actually I don't think of myself as someone who needs music to write. In fact, I get distracted by music if it's lyrics I don't know, or I don't know. I thought that music was more distracting than helpful, but apparently not, at least today. I was also surprised at how little I used the internet. I don't think I looked up anything during this writing session, and granted, that has to do with whether or not I'm writing about things where I need to look things up. I didn't need to look anything up today because I was world building, I was making a timeline, and that sort of world building doesn't require internet. I was also surprised at how little the internet distracted me, though. I thought that once I turned the internet on, apart from being useful, I also thought it was going to be distracting. But for some reason, it was neither today. I don't know what's going on. Apart from that, I didn't use my gloves, which I'm not actually all that surprised about because I don't always need them. Sometimes I'm more sensitive than other times, and today I wasn't writing constantly for all this time. I did, like I said, I did timeline and I did some other things that didn't require me to type. So that's probably one of the reasons why the gloves were not entirely needed today. And of course the snacks were very needed. I would have wanted those way earlier, but so I don't know. If I was going to do this again, water should be way up there, as should the open window, because the fresh air is very necessary, otherwise I get headaches. And I think maybe after that, the next 3 things that I would add if I did this again would be music, snacks, and tea. You're not hearing this, right? Not listening, okay? The last 3 things would be this guy, gloves, and the internet. Anyway, this was a very, very interesting challenge, a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was mostly going to be difficult. It was that too, but also interesting, so I'm glad I did it. So thank you so much, Kate, for tagging me in this. I have no one to tag because everyone that I was going to tag have already been tagged or don't want to do it, or I don't know. If you want to do it and haven't been tagged yet, I am tagging you to do it because, again, it's very interesting. It's very useful, actually, to really find out what is important and not. And I think it's especially useful to actually do this list and then try it out. Otherwise, how can you be sure if you did it right or not, if you picked the right things? So I definitely encourage you to do this, even if you're not going to film it. Try it out, just for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed watching me figure this out. If you did, please give me a like and hit the subscribe button and the little bell if you want to watch me figure out more things in the future. I have more videos upcoming, both writing vlogs and other. So I'll see you then. Bye.